Howdy, how's it going? Welcome back, or howdy if you're new. This is the all-new Abxylute C8 controller, and this thing is an absolute monster. This thing comes in at an extremely aggressive price point, and it offers way more features than I'm used to getting on any kind of budget controller. Everybody been asking me about this controller, wondering if it's worth the money or if it's just a bunch of hype. So I got my hands on one of these, and today I'm going to tell you about all of the quirks and features and if I think it's worth the money or not. You can already probably tell my excitement, but if you're new to the channel, you guys know, or you may not know, that I'm very opinionated. And if there's something that I don't like, I'll be the first one to tell you about it because my viewers matter to me more than anything else out there. And the last thing I want any of them to do is to have a bad experience with a product or to buy something and then regret it later. So anytime I can save you that headache, that's what I'm here for. And I'm not here just to be loyal to brands and not loyal to my viewers. You guys play a bigger role in that. So let's go ahead and get started. This controller comes in at 55 bucks. Crazy price point. I really think at that point, there is nothing else out there that I have found that even comes close to competing with this. You've got lighted buttons for the ABXY. You've got RGB rings around here, RGB lighting here. It's also got a wireless dongle that's included, which I'll show you in a second. You can also do Bluetooth. So of course you could pair it to phones, computers, Switch. You could put it on anything except like an Xbox or a PlayStation, basically. It's got an insanely crazy dock. This charging dock will allow you to plug in the power cable in the back so it looks really clean and neat on your desk. Then you've even got a little storage compartment to where you can put in your wireless dongle inside of here. This does have Bluetooth 5.3, so it is the latest version of Bluetooth. So you can pair it with that, although the wireless dongle is definitely much faster. Let's go ahead and just actually show you the differences between the wireless dongle, and the Bluetooth. So you can see up above those results on the latency testing. And then let me show you right here. This is actually the circularity rate. You can actually change the circularity rate on the fly with this controller. So if you need a perfect circle, or if you need to have those directional movements for games like Zelda or any games where you need to be running, boom, you have both. You can actually switch those on the fly. The owner's manual is actually really well written, pretty much got everything inside of here. Now, one of the other things that is important to me is triggers and joysticks. Both of these are Hall effect, and both of these feel extremely premium. This controller, if you don't already know, is basically the bigger brother and newer generation of the C6 controller. The Abxylute C6 was a very budget-friendly controller. If you were to tell me that that was its younger brother, I'd be like, nah, man, this is like the granddaddy godfather right here. This thing is absolutely crazy. It doesn't feel the same. Removable faceplate. So inside of here, you've got your little storage compartment. You've got RGB everywhere. It's insane. It doesn't even look the same, doesn't feel the same, but apparently it's just an upgraded C6, but it feels way more to me than that. You've of course got the removable thumbsticks. You could put on the longer ones that are included in the box. These are pretty perfect for me. I like the shorter ones. If you like longer ones, there you go. A little bit for everyone in here. Triggers feel very solid. These were a little bit louder. The bumpers were very mushy. These bumpers, clicky, very clicky. Another thing that I liked was the D-pad. Check out the D-pad height. This thing gives you a nice D for sure. Over here, it was a lot more shallow, and it definitely did not have the same feel. This felt very shallow, very short. The rotation was not great, but over here, this rotation feels insane. It's very good. This also has some programmable buttons right here. There's also a turbo button mode, so if you're playing with a semi-automatic weapon or there's a certain button that you need to press over and over, you can program that turbo button. You can also lower the vibration levels on here. That can actually help with accuracy in some first-person shooter games by having a lower vibration. You can play games like Doom in the gyro mode. That's always fun. There's a ton of features packed into this thing. I don't even think I could put all the features in this video. If I leave out anything, I'll just add it in here. All right, so let's talk about why you should get one of these if you have a handheld PC. Well, of course, most of you have a dock. You're gonna hook this thing up to your TV or your monitor, and you're gonna play from time to time. So get one of these, plug it into the USB port, and you'll have better latency. The controller will be way faster than just using it through Bluetooth or using an Xbox controller through Bluetooth. This is way more preferable for me. I've actually retired all of the controllers that I've been using for a while that you've seen on the channel. And it's not just because this is the newest one on my desk. I've been using this for over a week now, and I have absolute zero desire to go back to any of my controllers because of how good this thing feels, how it feels in the hand, and all the features that I've listed so far. So it definitely checks every box that I'm looking for in a controller. So there's only two things I would have rather had different, and that's only because that's just me. It's a personal thing, but I do realize that would tremendously increase the price. So it would have been nice to have some back paddle buttons, but I do realize there's a lot of games where you're going to play just like this, and then you can quickly reach down and press reload or whatever it is. It might be quicker to program this to a reload function rather than playing like this and then having to reload or whatever it is. It's just a quicker movement here. So I realize there is potential use case scenarios where this is faster. The other thing that maybe I would have done differently is to add in some trigger stops. But the more I play it, the more I realize I don't need that. These triggers aren't incredibly long, and they actually feel good with a good positive stop. It doesn't feel mushy. So you don't really need trigger stops, but it is cool if you could have it. If you're gonna pick up some XR glasses, having a controller like this makes that 10 times more enjoyable because you can just sit back on your desk or at your chair or wherever you are, and you can play with a lightweight controller rather than having a big hefty handheld in your hand. It gives you a little bit more immersion, and it just gives you a little bit more freedom to move around. So I really like that. It's definitely a really nice touch that they have got, just a very lightweight package that offers everything I need and more. They really nailed it. Like, honestly, I don't think they could have done much better. And the dock, it docks perfect. There's no jank, there's no fuss. It just works. Give you a cable, they give you the thumbsticks. It comes packaged well in a nice box for 55 bucks or less. Say no more. So lastly, guys, the other reason I stand behind this controller and the brand is because every person I've ever suggested one of their products to has been extremely happy with it. And if you ever need support, they have a Discord. The Discord is extremely active, and they are very quick to respond and help you out with anything or any questions that you might have. So if there's ever an issue, ever any shipping problems, ever any things that you need addressed or figured out, they are quick to get you taken care of, and that is their goal. And I really appreciate the response and the loyalty that they have to the people who support their brand, and they honestly are always my go-to when it comes to handheld accessories. So thank you, Handheld DIY, for always making banger products, always offering a good value and not just something that comes out that's cheap. Good value means it's a good quality product at a good price, and this is a good value. This is a value, it's a good value, it's very, very inexpensive, but you know, it was a budget controller. It's not a bad controller. The joysticks, very responsive. Everything on it works. It has all the features they said it would have, but it was very, very economical. And when you look at the most economical thing out there, you do kind of miss out on some of that build quality, some of the quality of life features like the dock. It's just mind-blowing. 55 bucks or less. Crazy, guys. Look, if you want one of these, check those links below. They are worth it. And if you appreciate videos like this, please get subscribed. We have so many more things coming. I'm going to get back to some mods. We're going to talk about some more accessories. We've got a few handhelds in the pipeline. And then we're also going to be reviewing those XR glasses very, very soon. So until the next one, I hope you have a good afternoon, good evening, or good night.